Welcome back to Daily Wrap. Well, 10 Republicans have declared their candidacy for president, but a new poll finds 2 undeclared candidates are leading the crowded field. Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, 12%. Ben Carson is at 11% and apparently emailing Heather on a regular basis. And Rand Paul at 9%. More on that in a moment. And Mr. Ted Cruz, that's Rick's favorite. He is at 8%. And do we have the rest of the 10, everybody, or we just did the top 5? There we go. Rubio, Huckabee, Christie, Perry, and Donald Trump at 10. John Kasich, a bubble team, currently at 11. Didn't have enough room on the graphic. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton remains the clear front runner, but her support is down among Democrats. Hillary Clinton at 57%. Bernie, he's in double digits at 11. Joe Biden, not declared, 8%. And Martin O'Malley at 4%. Lincoln Chafee, not listed, at minus 2.7%. Which is mathematically impossible.
I think it's appropriate.
Yes. Yeah. So any takeaways besides the Chafee number on these numbers?
Deeply worried about Hillary with only 57%.
But down.
This is really concerning.
Down 6 points among Democrats.
She'll be down more before she wins.
Well, how far down will she go?
Who knows? It
Below
doesn't
50?
matter. I doubt it. Could happen. You know, she has a bad week or a bad primary or somebody does something, but I doubt that she will because she still has. Listen, I got to say it again. The Democrats can't get anybody to run. In the Democratic list there's most of them aren't Democrats. They're independents. They can't even get Democrats to run.
What do you think
that's right, on the metric level.
What do you think would happen if some young, charismatic Democrat came forward?
A good candidate came in, all bets are off.
Name names.
Yes, but I can't think of one.
That's the problem.
I can't think of one
Nobody
either.
can. That's the problem.
But there's got to be somebody out there.
John Edwards? He's still young looking.
No, younger.
I don't think I think he'd lower the Lincoln Chafee.
Yeah, he'd be lower
minus
than
2%.
That's true.
That's the thing. I mean, we go through this all the time. You'd be amazed. We go, all right, there's got to be somebody out there. Who will it be?
You would think that somebody in the Democratic world would start picking. There's got to be.
There's one, Mr. Unger.
Who?
His name is Michael Bloomberg.
It's not happening.
Yeah, he's not going to.
I'd be okay with it, but it's not happening.
Let's go back to that for a second. You'd be okay with it. Would you support a Bloomberg or a Hillary?
Good chance I could support a Bloomberg. I like Mike Bloomberg a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
But I do want to just say this quickly. You know, I understand that people feel like Barack Obama came out of nowhere, and so that could happen again.
Not true.
He didn't come out of nowhere.
Right.
We all knew. I had met Barack Obama years before. We all knew what was coming with him.
What do you guys think will happen? Both Jeb Bush and Hillary apparently is having a relaunch of her campaign in like less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you think those numbers on either side are going to change dramatically?
I have nothing's happened to change my mind. This election will be Jeb Bush and Hillary
Where
Clinton.
is that relaunch, by the way? Is that on Roosevelt Island?
Yes,
it is.
Where she kicked the kids out of the park.
Yeah, you know that's the most. You know that's the most inaccessible, one of the most inaccessible parts of the country, which only makes sense considering that the press can't get there unless they switch bill quickly.
The other thing we just had a whole conversation about the need to motivate voters. If it is a Hillary Clinton, Jeb Bush fight, nobody's going to show up.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. It's going to be who do you like not as bad as the other.
Exactly.
Agreed. No. Speaking of not liking, perfect transition, Rick. Thank you so much, even if you didn't mean to do it. That poll also asked Republican primary voters who they'd never vote for. And you'll never guess who came out on top. Donald Trump with a whopping 22-point lead. Wow. Chris Christie polarizing, sure. 37%. Jeb Bush, all right. The name may be hurting him there. Mike Huckabee makes a dumb comment about every 3 days or so. And then Rand Paul taking on his own party at 20%. That poll makes absolute and total perfect sense. Meanwhile, Fox News contributor Charles Krauthammer poked fun at Mr. Trump, saying the 59% was well-deserved, and that had the Donald firing back on, of course, the Twitter. Let's take a look. One of the worst and most boring political pundits on television is Charles Krauthammer. Wait, is that Rick's speed or is that Trump's? Anyway,
I'm nicer than that.
Totally overrated clown. Wow, who speaks without knowing facts. Charles Krauthammer keeps going, pretends to be a smart guy, but if you look at his record, he isn't. A dummy who is on too many Fox shows, an overrated clown. Yikes. Apparently Charles Krauthammer struck a nerve. By the way, Jeb Bush has the distinction of being in the top tier as well as in the other poll where Republicans say they'd never vote for him. How do you explain that, Heather Hansen?
I think that it's the problem with the name. I think that people are intrigued. He also hasn't come out yet, so people are only guessing at really what his policies are to some degree. They haven't met his they haven't met his wife. They haven't seen what his speech is going to be. They haven't come forward. So I think that there's the issue with the name mainly.
Bill? You just had a befuddled look on your face. I had to go to you before
Rick and I are having this weird sort of moment where we're in total synchronicity with each other
Scaring
tonight.
the hell out of
we,
me.
we know exactly what Jeb Bush's stance is.
Not Jeb. You're talking about Donald Trump.
Well, no, and Donald, we know exactly what Donald Trump is all about, and the reason he did it is nobody was talking about him, so he had to attack.
You took on Charles Cranhammer earlier this week.
I did.
Is it a wise move?
Well, it doesn't do me any harm. If I was running for the Republican nomination for president, I might be a little more reluctant. But I got to say, it's moments like this that rekindle my faith in the American public.
Boom.
When 59% of them understand that the Donald is a complete
There has to be
Barnum,
the inter-party debates, because if you give me Trump versus Sanders, I'll pay Mayweather $100 money. Anyway, potluck time is next. Heather and I share our favorite stories. Stay right there.